All right, we are back. I have a fantastic guest, and it might be a little different because this isn't specifically about real estate, but I have the one, the only Camille Clarke, my little sister.
Hi everyone. Thank you for having me, Brennan.
Hey, thank you for coming on. It's been some years in the making to get Camille on the podcast, but we finally made it. She originally didn't want to come on because she thought she had nothing fun to talk about, but that is not true. And you will see how much depth this girl has and how many good stories she has to offer. So again, thank you, Camille. I know we'll just get right into it. The biggest thing I want to talk about, my first question is, what was it like growing up with three brothers?
Good question. A lot of people ask me about this, and a lot of people, when they do ask it, they right off the bat say, oh, were you spoiled? And I wouldn't say I was spoiled. I think my brothers were very protective of me, which was super helpful and allowed me to explore different options and everything. But I feel like we were all just friends growing up, and we did a lot together, and we never fought or anything. So
At all?
Not really. I think you teased me, but that built character and toughened my skin. So overall, it was a great experience, built character. I think it also introduced me to a lot of things that are now a big part of my life, like sports, for example, which we'll probably get into later, I'm guessing, with field hockey, but also running. Like, I hate running, and then if I go on a run with them, especially on family vacations, they're like, we're up and at it, and I probably would do 2 miles by myself, and they make me go and do 6. Or a good one was with Brennan during COVID. We had this new challenge to do different types of sports, so we did golf, and now I can actually play golf, which is a helpful skill. We tried to do skating, which is kind of more failed, but I still can do it. I went to New York last week and went on the Rockefeller skating rink. So yeah, a lot of character building and exploring new things.
Just to give the audience some context, so there's 4 of us in our family. Davis is the oldest, which most people probably know who he is. He's 28. I'm the second oldest at 26. Then we have Evan, who's 25. And Camille's the baby, and she just turned 21. So that kind of gives you the age difference growing up. And how, going more into this like relationship, having older brothers, well, how has it changed throughout, like compared to like when you were in elementary school to now, where it's like we're able to go to the bars together? So how has that relationship with us transformed or grown throughout the years in the different phases of life, from your perspective?
I think when I was younger, going back more, like, our age difference obviously hasn't changed. We're always going to be 5 years, but when it's 5 years and you're in high school and I'm still in elementary school, there's a lot of developmental differences. So now that we're more in the same stage of life, you're still a little ahead of me because I'm in college. I feel like we can talk more and relate more to the same things, and you're still a role model to me. But back then it was more that feeling of, oh my God, like, I could never imagine doing what he's doing. Like, he's playing varsity basketball or out there playing lacrosse, but now I've done that. We've had the same experiences. So it's almost more, we've always been friends, but more now friends.
And Camille also used to go to all our sporting matches, our games, so really appreciate that. And yeah, it's really cool to see her grow up and do her own thing. It was really eye-opening for me. I think I've told this story to you, is you were always so much younger than us, and then one time I came home from college and you were like a woman, and I said, holy cow, this girl has grown up before my eyes. So it's been really cool to see. And now you're off doing your own thing. So kind of give us a breakdown of where you currently stand. Like, where are you in your life?
Okay, I'm a senior at Tufts University, entering my 2nd semester. I'll graduate in May. I just finished my senior season of field hockey, so that part of my life has also closed as well. So that's where I am right now.
Nice. And what was the decision-making on going to Tufts? How did that come to be?
Good question. I was in between 3 schools, UMass Amherst, Holy Cross, Tufts. I visited Holy Cross for the admissions day. Too small for me personally. So then it really came down to UMass and Tufts. UMass, obviously all 3 of my brothers have been there, familiar with the school, visited. And the appeal of it being bigger, I liked originally, but then when I visited with Evan, I didn't like that it wasn't near a city. So Tufts has that benefit, being so close to Boston, also so close to my family, because for my brothers, at least, when they went to UMass, they were all together, but I wouldn't have that same experience because they had all graduated. So being close to Winchester and also Boston because some of them lived there at that time, I still had that family aspect. And then when I was also deciding, my science teacher, who was also my field hockey coach, found out, and she said, if you did go to Tufts, there is an opportunity for you to play field hockey, to try out and walk onto the team, which I liked that aspect because going on to school with a team, you automatically have 20 girls as your friends.
Yeah. You want to talk about that whole process? Because just to shed some light, Tufts Field Hockey is one of the top D3 programs.
Yeah, I
Camille?
did not know that at all.
How did you even get into field hockey? Because none of your brothers played? Because it's primarily a women's sport in the United States.
So I hated soccer. I think every kid probably...
Did you like any sports growing up?
No, I hated sports.
Why?
Because I played the same sports as you, and Evan and Davis, so everyone knew about them, and I'd get off the field and be like, we have a suggestion for you. You could do this
Us?
better.
Or
The whole family. Everyone played the same exact sports.
which ones?
Basketball, soccer, baseball. I transitioned to softball because I'm a girl. What else?
You played a little bit of lacrosse, right?
And all my friends in middle school started playing field hockey, and I was like, why not? I'll do it. And then I enjoyed it. So
What year was that? Was that 7th grade or?
7th grade, and there was just a pickup. Wasn't very competitive. There's not a lot of youth programs, or back then there weren't. So it was super low key. Did it in 8th grade again. Then played in high school all 4 years. My freshman year, I missed tryouts though, so I'm on the freshman team.
What do you mean you missed tryouts?
I read the email wrong. I didn't know that proceeds
Proceeds.
was before, not after. So I told mom and dad that we could go on this cruise, and then I realized that I was missing tryouts.
So then what happened? You just got put on freshman?
Yeah.
And what was because that's the other thing. I was in college in Camille's entire high school career. So I would come back here and then. But what was your high school field hockey experience like? When did you make varsity?
So I didn't technically letter, but by the end of my freshman year, I was on varsity.
How did you scale up so quickly?
I have no idea. I was playing on freshman, and then they decided that if you improved, you could go play for JV. So then probably halfway through, right in the beginning, I started playing in the JV games, but halfway through, I made the JV team. I remember the coach was like, you don't really belong here, but you have the potential to belong here, so we're just putting you on. And I'm like, okay, this is fun. And then for playoffs, they always pick a few girls from JV to play with varsity and get that experience and get to know the girls. So I was one of 2 people selected.
Wow. That's crazy because you barely had played field hockey at all, and now you're find your way on the varsity team. Were you nervous at all? Because I know I had a similar experience my freshman year at lacrosse, and I was anxiety-ridden. And I feel like you kind of have just like ride the wave type mentality. Or do you deal with nerves and anxiety when it comes to that stuff?
I think there's 2 separate answers here.
Okay, go.
One, for freshman year of high school, I was not nervous because I knew I wasn't actually going to touch the field. I was just there. And it was helpful because Evan was only a grade above the girls who were seniors, so they all knew him. So it didn't feel as intimidating. They also knew you, obviously, as well. And then there were 4 or 5 other girls in my grade on varsity at the time. So
Oh, wow.
the team was very heavily sophomores and freshmen. And then some of the girls on those teams had siblings either in your grade or just on the team. So, like, I don't know if I can say names. Can I?
It's up to you.
Okay, I won't say names. But there's, like, sisters on the team. So if I'm friends with one of the sisters, like, it's not as intimidating that the older sister's there.
Yeah.
And then going back to nerves and riding the wave, I have that mentality. I think that really came through this year for playing field hockey at Tufts because I had never started before. And then I was our center mid, so I was in all the action all the time, just running up and back. And even my coaches gave me this feedback. They were like, you always just seemed very calm and composed. And I think that comes, and this is going to sound really silly, but I got advice for public speaking one time, and it was from our cousin. And he was like, when you go to a presentation or kids are presenting in class, how much of it do you really retain? you only probably remember people's presentations if it's really, really good, you're really interested, or it was really bad. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, a lot of the time I come off the field when I was thinking about this in sports aspect, and I could never tell you how my teammates played unless it was like really, really bad or really, really good. So as long as you're doing your best, you're probably going to be at least average, and no one's going to care. So just go for it. And also, no one's going to remember in like 5 years.
Unless it's on tape. But which
That's
cousin?
true.
Which cousin?
Oh, Ryan. Shout out Ryan Fitzgerald.
Hey, let's go. Ryan Fitzgerald. He's one of our older cousins. So then fast forward, you have a good high school career. You do pretty far. You do pretty well in the state title. Or not state title, but in the state tournament your senior year at least.
Yeah, we made it to the Elite Eight.
So that's respectable. But then you transition, so you go from high school to college trying to walk on to a top tier program in Division III where all the girls are playing select. You didn't play select, right?
What's that, club?
Yeah, club.
No.
Why didn't you? Just because we don't play club in the family?
It was also, all the options were pretty far away.
Okay.
It was like, closest one was maybe 30, 40 minutes. And I'm young for my grade. I'm born in August, so I didn't get my license.
Yeah.
So then my mom would have had to drive me, which is a lot.
Yeah, that's true. So then what was it like going into walking on? Can you walk us through that process?
Yeah, sure. So I did not think I was going to play college field hockey. My senior season of high school ended in November. Did not touch a stick until my coach, Whitey, was like, you should go try out. So then talked to the Tufts coach, and she was like, your tryout's in June. It's probably May, right? Your college decision's May 1st.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, sugars, I got 1 month to train for this. And then it was a scout clinic, so kind of low pressure because no one really knows that you're trying out
What's
at those.
a scout clinic?
If you're getting recruited, coaches will have these clinics, and you go and show them your skills. And that's how most people get recruited, because you get noticed and the coach contacts you. So no one knew that I was actually trying out, and there's nothing to lose. I was already into the school. And I remember a week later, I got a phone call from her, being like, we'd love to have you on the team. So then I showed up early in August, and there was maybe 2 or 3 days of preseason.
And you were so sad leaving home.
Yeah, I was so sad.
Because Camille's also very adventurous. Yeah, I'm kind of derailing it, but you want to talk about you leaving from a brother's perspective. We packed up the car. Everything was in the minivan. My mom and dad were going to drop her off, and Camille's in the front seat like,
I'm pretty adventurous.
Why were you so sad going to college?
That was the first time in my life I was going somewhere by myself. Like, I didn't have any close friends coming to college with me. So that was that.
Got it. Okay. And then what was that process like? You showed up. Sorry, I kind of derailed us.
You're good.
Wait, can we talk? One last thing that just thought about you being adventurous. Davis, we're filming a podcast. Yeah, see, that's what happens when we don't have a studio, but it's all good. We're keeping that in there. Can you talk about the time
I could hear him earlier. That's why
I could too when you were looking up. We're keeping all this in. This is the raw, uncut.
This is the reality of being in a family of 4 kids.
Yeah, but can you talk about talking about adventurous? And I think this is my story. When you biked all the way to Nahant.
Oh gosh, I got in so much trouble for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm probably one of the more adventurous out of the 4 of us, right?
Well, you're definitely the youngest. I would say you and Evan are the most adventurous.
Yeah, so during COVID, my friends and I would bike a lot, social distancing, and good exercise. And we had this grand idea to go to the beach, and the closest one was Nahant. So I knew our mom would probably say no. So I was just like, screw it. I'll tell her I'm going on a bike ride. And obviously, it's probably like 15 plus miles, so it's pretty far. So
And how old are you at this point? This was junior year or sophomore year of high school?
Sophomore year. So I wasn't even 16 yet. I was 15. And she goes to check my location, and I was swimming. And I don't know why. I was swimming with my phone. So it said I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and she got so scared. And then I got a phone call, and it was also getting late. It was probably like 5 p.m. and she's like, you need to get home right now.
Yeah, you and your friends used to go on bike adventures.
Mm-hmm.
That's a far bike, 15 miles on a mountain bike, like not a road bike.
Not a road
That was
bike.
probably, like a 3-hour journey?
No, we were pretty quick.
Oh, okay.
But it was scary. We had to cross Route 1. And there are also parts of the ride. Now you can get on and off the highway.
Yeah.
We had to go over those. So there's people coming off the highway. And I remember it was like a blind spot. So we sent one girl over, just like complete sacrifice. And then she could tell us
if it was good to go or if she got hit by a car.
exactly.
Wow. Yeah, I remember my mom checking your location or our mom checking location. It was like, oh my God, Camille's in the middle of in the ocean. Like thinking that you had gotten kidnapped.
Yeah. And I remember we live on a hill. So I was biking up the hill. Brennan, our two other brothers, and my dad were in the front yard, and they were yelling, "Okay, Lance Armstrong." And I was like, oh no, because I knew Mom was inside. I was like,
I love it. Yeah, I just thought of that when we said adventurous. But back to field hockey real quick. You walk onto the team. Mm-hmm. You nervous for that? Intimidated? Or are you just cool, calm, and collective?
I mean, I was nervous, but I didn't feel like I was any worse than anybody. I wasn't obviously a star, but I didn't feel like I was out of place. Mm-hmm. And that's what our coach looks for is, are you going to add to the team in practices or take away? So I didn't feel like I would take away, so I was confident in that. And I also, again, didn't have anything to lose. I didn't know any of the girls yet, so it wasn't like, oh, maybe if I don't make it, what would I do friendship-wise? Everyone was coming in 2 weeks after us, and that's just a blank slate right there.
So then you get hey, you made the team, congratulations. Mm-hmm. What was your freshman year like? Because you didn't touch the field at all.
Yeah, I was just chilling. I was there for vibes.
What were your biggest takeaways from that freshman year, other than vibes? Did you improve a lot as a player? I know you became friends with the girls on the team, and you had some fun at Tufts.
I think I improved. There were different skills I was not aware of that we practiced. That was fun. And just also building relationships. Coming from a family of all boys, obviously I had my friends from home who were girls, but it's a lot different when you're with girls 24/7. They really do become the sisters you never had. And I think those relationships were very impactful and still are today.
Impactful in what way?
I learned more. I don't know. They're just again, it's just so many different personalities. So you learn how to work with different people. People had different interests, so exposed to different things.
Like fashion.
Yeah, fashion. I don't know how to do hair or makeup or anything. Now I'm learning.
Yeah, she's still learning how to curl her hair.
Exactly.
But how old were you when you got your ears pierced? Just as an example.
Sophomore year of college, one of my teammates took me to Claire's in the Burlington Mall.
Yeah, because none of the boys have it, and Camille's the only girl in the family besides our mom. So I guess it is little things like that. But all right, so freshman year you don't play at all. I remember we would show up to the games, cheer you on. Sit the bleachers. If anyone's been into the field hockey field at Tufts, it's right in the sun and it gets so hot. But freshman year you don't play. Then what happened sophomore year? You come back. What made you decide to come back?
I loved the team.
Okay.
At the end of freshman year, my grade was so close. This sounds weird, but my teammates, I had a single, so we'd all hang out in my room and we'd hang out for so long that people would fall asleep in my bed. And we would go to the dining hall and sit there for hours. Would not leave. People would be like, I never see one of you alone because we were always together.
We're always just mossing.
Yeah, and we'd go on fun adventures. We went to the beach one day. We went to the Museum of Science. Just silly things.
So
I went to the concert with you guys.
Oh yeah, we met
Chase Rice.
Yeah, Chase Rice. House of Blues.
Yeah.
Camille and all our friends showed up. And we were like, yo. So then sophomore year, you don't play again.
Well, I had an injury.
Oh, what?
You know this. If I get acting.
Oh, is this the face?
Yeah. I was super motivated to come back sophomore year and actually get playing time. So I practiced all summer. And then
What did you do in the off season? Break that down.
Well, we have Tufts Summer League. So any college players can go and play at Tufts. So that was twice a week. And then I would just go to the field by myself basically every day. And also lifting as well. Yeah.
Jacked.
No, I've lost some of the muscle. Where was I? Oh, but then I came back sophomore year, started getting playing time, was a sub on the bench, which I was totally happy with. And then maybe a month in, we were warming up for a game at Colby, and one of my teammates by accident missed the ball, and her swing went right into my face. You can't see it anymore. But I got 30 stitches just because it's so deep. It's pretty small, but they had to layer the stitches, and that was kind of oh my God, I cannot speak right now. A scary experience because no one was there. If anyone's been to Colby, it's up in the middle of nowhere. So
Yo, shout out Riley.
yeah, Riley, you'll still have fun. But we were wearing white uniforms. I remember looking down. There's just like blood all over my white uniform. And they bring me over the side and they put me in the back of this what do you call
Golf
this?
cart?
Yeah, golf cart. Thank you. And I'm in the back of it looking up at the sky. And they bring over this doctor who's at the rugby game, comes over, and he's like, oh, I'll try to do this in the least amount of stitches possible. So he puts in 3 stitches on the
While
back.
you're in the back of the golf cart?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm just looking up, and he goes, well, good news, you can be Frankenstein for Halloween. I was like, are you kidding me right now? I'm by myself. You're saying that. And then when I got home, I had to wait for the whole game, and then the ride home, which is probably 3 hours. Our mom met me at Tufts and took me to the hospital to get it actually stitched properly by a plastic surgeon.
Dang, I remember that. And I don't know, something that I did not realize until Camille was in college and playing field hockey is how dangerous the sport is.
Yeah,
Like,
we've
people
had
get
a
hit in the
fair
face
amount
all
of
the time.
injuries. Yeah.
And Camille has more damage than a boxer would. Like 30 stitches on the chin. Didn't you get hit somewhere else?
Oh, yeah. I have glue under this eye, and that caused me to have, oh, this is a funny story, a black eye. And then that black eye healed, and I got another black eye from a ball. And some kid in my class was like, wow, it's healing really nicely. And I was like, no, baby, this is a new one.
But I feel like even your teammates gets hit in the head. And then we were at another game where a girl from Williams got smoked.
That was crazy.
It is because the ball is hard, and then also the sticks are just dangerous.
Yeah.
So I forgot that was sophomore year. And then
Junior, I started subbing consistently. I was the first off the bench for the midfield line. And then senior year started center mid.
Yeah, but you guys went far.
Oh, yeah. We went to the national championship, but we lost 2-1 to Middlebury, who were 7-year reigning champs.
Yeah, and this was down in Virginia, not to shamelessly plug Davis and me.
Oh, they were great brothers for this one.
Well, yeah, we went all the way down to Virginia. And I don't know if I've said this before, I don't know if people have seen the clips, like how fast guys become friends. We didn't really know any of the Tufts parents before we got down there. So the first game was Friday. Davis and I were just sitting by ourselves. And then by the end of the weekend, we were hanging out with all the parents, sitting around, drinking beer before the games, being like, oh, yeah, the girls have a really tough matchup. Middlebury's good. Fired up. And then, yeah, we became friends with all the parents. And that leads us to senior year, which was amazing. Break it down.
Senior year, going to the season, as a team, we honestly didn't know where we stood. A lot of people thought this was going to be a rebuilding year because we lost 9 starters, I want to say. But everyone stepped up into their positions. I was center mid, as mentioned earlier, and we cohesively really grew as a team. I think because no one was thinking, oh, I'm the star of this team, we were like, we need to work together. We need to rely on one another, and that really was what made us so dangerous as a team.
And what happened this year?
Oh, sugars, I forgot about that. We won. We're national champions. We beat John Hopkins in overtime, so that was very exciting.
I was hyped.
Yeah, I guess not to brag, but I contributed to the winning goal with an assist.
First ever point, too. So you go from...
Well, that's actually not true.
Oh, no, okay.
No,
Fact check.
they got it wrong in the news. That's my second point.
What was your first?
I assisted a goal in our Wesleyan game.
This year?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but take us through that playoff run, because you guys lost in SCAC.
Yes, we lost in NESCACs, which was disappointing because we thought we were going to win. But honestly, it was really beneficial. 1, it lit a fire in us. And 2, it exposed where our weakness was, which was adapting to different teams' presses, especially when teams were switching it on the fly during the game. So right at that moment, we were relying on aerialing it or just hitting out of the backfield instead of passing and working it and just having the slow build up to get it. I think we lacked confidence in that just because we didn't do it. So our coach made a new drill that allowed us to practice different ways to get out of different presses, and we built confidence in ourselves of how to do that. And after each game in the NCAA playoff, we became more confident in our ability to do that just as the teams got more challenging, and that's what happened.
Yeah, no, it was amazing to see because the press sometimes really affected you guys.
Yeah, because some people put a very like, what would you call it? Not like pushy, but like
was
up in your
aggressive.
face. Aggressive, that's the right word. And some of these girls are really fast.
I know.
Like shout out to Williams Field Hockey. I don't think anyone from them are going to be listening.
I don't know. They might be tuning in.
But all their forwards are super, super fast. So they were one team that gave us a run for our money. We almost lost them, actually.
Yeah, break down that game because that game I think set the tone for the rest.
That was Sweet 16,
Yeah.
I want to say. Yeah, so we had lost to Williams earlier in the year, 3-1. That was
Smoked.
probably it was our second game, though. So people were playing positions that they didn't end up playing. I was playing left mid. I should never be left mid. I don't really have the hand skills for that one. So either way, though, we knew that Williams was a good team, very athletic team, fast. They give you a run for your money.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it. So people were nervous, but we just kept going. And I think that was a game that we really came together and we never stopped fighting. Like, I think some teams, we were down 1-0, I want to say, and there was like 5 minutes left. And in my mind, I never thought, like, this is my last field hockey game, because it easily could have been. And I think everyone had that same mentality, like, this isn't our last game. Like, we're just going to keep playing. And that's exactly what we did. And one of my teammates scored with 2 minutes left and it put us into overtime. And then you could just see the momentum that we gained from that goal going into overtime, because we were in their offensive zone pretty much the whole entire time, even though we did go into double overtime. Their goalie's insane as well.
Their goalie had some crazy saves in that
Yeah,
first
she's
overtime.
really good. I think she got NESCAC goalie of the year,
Hey,
which
wow.
would make sense.
Yeah, but I think and I'm also just talking about playing from behind, Williams scored with like 2 minutes into the game. So Williams was up 1-0 for pretty much the entire game. And then you guys score with like 2 minutes left, and then you won in overtime, which was insane.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know people in the stands were like, oh my gosh, I don't know if we're going to win this game. And this could be it. Like, this could be over. This could be the end of the season. But nope, you guys hung tight.
We just keep building. We break down the game into the quarters, so it doesn't matter what happened in the first quarter, even if we were doing well or bad. It was like second quarter mentality. And I think that really helps, because if you do poorly in the first quarter and that's all you're going to think about for the rest of the game, you're never going to improve. But if you think of it as separate quarters, then every single one you're going to be trying your best, and you're not going to have an expectation for yourself.
Are you going to carry that do you carry that mindset into other aspects of life outside of sports?
Of just focusing on one task at
just
hand?
kind of like next play mentality.
I think so. I would say so. I think that's what made me successful at my job, or my internship, which will be my new job.
Queen of New York.
Basically, for that job, you're trying to find the best person to talk to our clients for them to gain a better understanding of the industry that they want to invest in. And sometimes you'll have someone that you find, you're like, wow, this person's so great. And you'll call them up, and either they don't have the knowledge that your client's looking for, or they just don't want to do it, or it's out of the budget for your client. And you're like, oh, like, what am I going to do? And instead of having that and getting bogged down, I was like, all right, this person didn't work. There's got to be someone better.
Yeah, that's sales right there.
Yeah.
In a way. Just keep on keeping on. All right, I think we might be coming to our time soon. But the last question that I want to talk about is, so how's your dating life? No, I'm just kidding. But we're coming down to the end. Last field hockey question. This one was mainly about field hockey, because we're a little short on time because we have family dinner.
Where's the real estate questions, Brennan?
Well, that's for part 2. If you want to see Camille back on the podcast, let us know in the comments. But I think Camille will be back on, because I also wanted to talk about her studying abroad.
Oh, that was so fun.
I know, we didn't even get to that. I want to have her internship in New York, which was also crazy. And then, yeah, I guess those 2 big topics, which we didn't touch, which I do want to talk about.
Okay, so we'll be back.
We'll be back. But
if this one gets views.
how many views does this have to get in order for you to come back?
You're just going to sit there and replay it.
No, I'm not. I'm being serious.
I don't know.
100, 200.
What do you usually get?
I usually get like 70.
Okay, yeah, 100.
Okay, so if this gets 100, we'll get Camille back on. We'll probably have a different setting. Maybe we'll find somewhere cool to record right now. We're just recording in a basement. No, I appreciate Camille coming on. Anything else about field hockey that you want to touch on, like in the national title, or what was it like playing in a national title game? Was it surreal, or was it just felt like any other game?
That's a good question. I mean, we'd already been there before.
Yeah.
So that kind of was a little bit of a calming factor. Like, okay, we've been here. It's just another game. You're going to do what you're going to do. I also think we were super fired up. So I don't know if people are aware of this, but we were the last seed, so number 4 going into the tournament. So how they do it, like assigning locker rooms, they give you the worst. Like, it was bad. And then on TikTok, the number 1 team had posted, and we could see their locker room. We were like, wow, that's so nice. And that was a treatment we had gotten the year before because we had been number 1 then.
Yeah.
And we were like, no one's expecting us to win. Literally, I'll tell this story.
Yeah.
We were at the banquet. They do a banquet for the final 4 teams. And we're sitting right next to the number 1 team who we had to play for the first match. And they gave the record of all the teams combined. And they said together we had 5 losses. We made up 3 of those. The other teams had 1, and number 1 seed had 0. And one of the girls really loudly right next to us was like, guess what teams never lost? Like, who would lose? And we were like, okay. So then that fired us because we were like, bad locker room. People aren't expecting anything of us. We're going to go out there. So we beat them 1-0, CNU. And then we were like, wait, we're here. No one expected us to even be here this season. We lost Nescax. No one's like thinking it's going to be us. So we just went out there and we played as a team.
Wow. Did you all have a motto over the year?
Yeah. Or not over the year, but it was at least for the last game. It was we can do hard things.
Yeah. So it's all about just having that mentality of like just getting after it and doing hard things rather than going for the path of least resistance.
Yeah, because I think people build things up. Like at the end of the day, it was just another game. It was against John Hopkins, who's a good team. But my coach said to us before, she was like, you guys are a good team. Like, don't overthink about another team. Like, don't build them up to be something that they're not. Like, every team's going to be good, but you're also good. And you wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, and you had some great stories. I love
Really?
it. Yeah, no, because a lot of times I try to get people to tell stories because stories are great, and you had some great stories, so I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. But I think that's something to end on, to echo, is that if you weren't supposed to be in the position that you're in, you wouldn't be there. So if it could be at a job, it could be at a new school, it could be on a sports team. If you weren't supposed to be there, you wouldn't be there. So have confidence in yourself. Don't make it up too much in your mind and just keep on going on, right?
Yeah, because I think other people have a good perspective on you. Like when someone's hiring you, they see some sort of potential that maybe you don't even believe in yet, but they see it. Your coach isn't going to put you on the field unless they see that potential as well. So it is self-confidence, but you can also gain it from external things. And also, this sounds spiritual, but I trust the universe that everything is going to work out.
Oh, trust the universe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Camille.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Are we high-fiving?